If we have any poets that are sitting out in the audience, we'd like to invite you to come up to this front section where the poets are sitting in order as they appear in the anthology. So all the poets up to the front, please. Wonderfully well behaved. Jennifer, I'm waiting for my colleague to come and sit with me. We're so delighted that you're here with us today. Thank you so much. Let me begin by introducing Ramiro Salazar, who's the director of the San Antonio Public Library.
Thank you, Vicki. Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the Library Board of Trustees and the staff of the San Antonio Public Library, I would like to extend to all of you a very warm welcome to this very special ceremony and event. Today we will hear from local children and teen poets whose works were chosen to be published in the 92nd edition of the Young Pegasus anthology. Joining us today is Paul Stahl, who's chair of the San Antonio Public Library Board of Trustees, and he's to my left. He will be participating in today's program. I would also like to thank the board's immediate past chair, Jean Brady, for her championship of this program through the years. Jean not only supported the program by attending the events, but also financially, so we're indebted to Jean's support and embracing this wonderful program. I would also like to recognize and thank the San Antonio Public Library Foundation, who has also supported this program through contributions. And of course, I would like to recognize and welcome our talented 2018 Young Pegasus judges. They read and carefully considered over 2,200 poems for this year's anthology. Vicki will acknowledge him later, but I wanted to thank the judges for your hard work. I know it's quite an effort, and to choose poems, and all of them are wonderful, so thank you so much for your support. And I also want to, at this time, not only acknowledge the parents, but also to thank you for the support that you provide to your children. It is your guidance and your support that allow your children to explore new endeavors and and consider creative writing. So without your support, their participation and their willingness to go forward in submitting poems would not be possible. So a special thanks to all the parents that are here. I know that our staff has enjoyed working with the judges and the judging panel. Again, will be introduced. But I would like to recognize two key individuals. Vicki Ash, who is the coordinator for Children's Services, and Jennifer Velasquez, who's the coordinator for Teen Services. They're the two leads, so thank you. And there's Jennifer coming up, just on cue. Thank you, Jennifer. And of course, to all the other members of the library staff, our children's librarians, who also play a very important role in the services that we provide. I'm a big champion for our children's services and our staff that deliver children's services. So those that are here, thank you also for supporting this program behind the scenes. I'm looking to see if there are any other board members. There's Marcy Inns. Welcome, Marcy. Thank you so much for being here representing District 9. Got it. Any other? It's hard to see the spotlights. But I would like to recognize all members of the board, but those that are here, thank you so much for making time. This is a wonderful program. It's one that I have embraced and have felt much pride for this particular program because it engages, again, children to express themselves creatively. Some of you may not know that I was here in the 1980s and then I left and I went to the Dallas Public Library, and so this program was so important that I modeled as director of the Dallas Public Library program that's very similar. It's called Express Yourselves, but it was modeled after this program. This is how much I value this particular program. And again, we offer many programs throughout the library system. Each of the young poets published in this anthology is helping to shape the city's future. They are creating a greater appreciation and understanding of poetry, enhancing the city's literary heritage, and preserving and expressing our local culture. We have been celebrating our young poets since 1927. We are grateful for their participation and applaud them for their efforts and talent. At this time, I would like to invite Vicki Ash, Coordinator Children's Services, and Jennifer Velasquez, who will take over from here. Jennifer and Vicki.
We really are proud of the Young Pegasus Poetry Competition. As Romero mentioned, we've been doing it since 1927. And in the library archives, and actually in the San Antonio City Archives, there are copies of all of those anthologies all the way back, except for 1 year, when we think it wasn't actually published, although there was a competition, but it was a paper shortage during the war. So we don't have a copy of that year. But we certainly have a copy of this year, and we have some beautiful young poets up here in front of us. But before we get to them, we'd like to introduce you to the judges. They're sitting right there on the first tier, so when I read about you, if you wouldn't mind standing up, just giving a little wave, they'd be very friendly. Erica De La Rosa is an educator, performer, director, and activist. She returned to San Antonio after 12 years of living her dream in New York City. She is the creator of the Puentes Young Artist Residency Program, a unique program that provides local youth with the opportunity to study, work, create, and experience life for 1 month in New York City as a working artist. Erica is not with us today, but she did a great job, and I hope you'll give her a little round of applause. Anthony, the poet Flores, is here. He's a well-known poetic voice in San Antonio, renowned for his love of the San Antonio Spurs and tacos. He has penned and performed tributes to Huevos Rancheros and, of course, Manu Ginobili. The San Antonio Current recently named Anthony a San Antonio poet who should be on your radar. Most importantly, however, one of his pieces was selected for publication in the Young Pegasus Anthology in 1985. Thank you, Anthony. Fernando Esteban Flores is a native son of Tejas and a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin. A retired middle school teacher, Fernando was recently selected to work with San Antonio's first poet laureate, Carmen Tafoya, in Gemini Inc.'s mentorship program. Like fellow Judge Anthony Flores, Fernando was also recognized by the San Antonio Current as a San Antonio poet who should be on your radar. Fernando was also invited to join the Chicano Fine Arts Museum as their resident poet. Thank you, Fernando. Jane Focht Hansen teaches English, literature, and literary criticism at San Antonio College, where she's also the director of the Writing Center. A teaching consultant with the San Antonio Writing Project, Jane also sponsors a youth writing workshop during the summer. Thank you, Jane. Esperanza Garza Dan Weber is not with us today, but she began her work exploring literature early in life by sneaking a flashlight under the covers and reading after bedtime. Do we have any volunteers? Anybody else did that? Okay. She continued her vocation at the San Antonio Independent School District as an English and Social Studies teacher before becoming the proud school librarian at Jefferson High School. And it's in the neighborhood where she grew up. She declares herself a teacher, organizer, advocate, facilitator, collaborator, reader, writer, and learner. In other words, she's a foot soldier in the war against illiteracy and ignorance. And thank you, Esperanza. And finally, our sixth judge this year, James Rossignol. James teaches at San Antonio College as well. His classes range from English as a second language to a science fiction survey course and creative writing. When James was in sixth grade, his teacher made the class create a poetry notebook, and James still has those poems in a folder with a hand-drawn Pegasus on the front. Thank you, James. I'm going to tell you that they do read a lot of poems, but they also have a lot of fun. And we enjoy reading your poems so much, we spend hours and hours doing it. So it's time for the poets. So let me give you a little hint so we know what's going to happen. If there are any poets still sitting out in the audience, you need to come down to the front with us. There should be a chair with your name on it. Okay, I think everybody's up front. All right, so what's going to happen is we're going to come up in order of that they appear in the book. Up you go, the first row, and come right over here with Imelda. Second row, just stay right where you are. Up and over. You got it. There you go. Now we invite the poets to read their poems themselves, but if they feel a little nervous, we don't mind helping out. And I think Luciana is the first person. Luciana, can you come up? This is Luciana Goetz. You stand right there, okay? Do you want to read it yourself or do you want me to? You want me to? Okay. Luciana's poem is My Name. One of my nicknames actually is Spanish for something light. It makes me think of light shining in my hair, and it's not hot. Lose. Good job. Okay. Now, right. You come right over here, and the mayor's going to give you a certificate. There you go. Okay. Come on. And this is Navid. Oh, wait. Let me say it right. Nivedita Somasundaram. Close, right? I'm going to apologize ahead of time for everybody's name I say wrong. Are you going to read yours yourself? Yes? Okay, let's move this stool back over here where you can be with the microphone. Okay. Uh-oh. Don't worry, we're good. Okay.
Spring is calling, rain is falling, the plants are very glad. It's so much fun to do a puddle run, so rain is not really bad.
Good job. Now, we're going to come this way. There you go. And this is Liliana Cordona. You ready? Okay.
Dear little kitten, your flames are strong and hot. You only have stripes on your fur. You do not have any dots. Dear little kitten, your Red stripes match your flames. Your strongest move is flamethrower to win all of the games. Dear little kitten, you create awesome fireball attacks. You are the greatest, cutest, furriest little fire cat.
Excellent. And this is Fiona Briggs.
Sidney Annette Sally McFleeth just would not brush her teeth. Her toothbrush was new, but still not a touch. Sidney did not care that much. After the 5th week, her teeth turned black. Her parents gave the toothbrush back. The 6th week came and her gums were green. They were the ugliest gums you've ever seen. Her parents screamed, they cried, they worried, and they called the dentist, and up the stairs he hurried. They heard a scream, a crash, a bang, and down the stairs the dentist came. 7th week came, and her teeth were worse. Nothing cured them, nothing good. Her teeth had lizards here and there, lizards everywhere. Her father fainted, her mother too. If you saw lizards, wouldn't you? They called the nurses, then they came. Nothing would ever be the same. The bread they gave her was very stale, and when she cried, it started to hail. Until one of her teeth fell out, then another, then another, then another, then another, until one tooth remained. It was worse than bad. And that's why every child remembers Sidney Annette Sally McFleeth and always, always brushes their teeth.
Come this way, please. And this is Jocelyn Crowley. I think you better step up so we can see you real good, okay? There you go. Oh, you don't? Okay, well, I'll read it for you. No, you, okay, well, you still stand up here so we can see you. All right, here we go. This is called Poems by Jocelyn Crowley. Poems aren't nice to me. They make me tongue-tied, like my life lied, and my hips whined like a music box. Beware, beware, if you like them, you're rare. I'm not rare. I don't care. And this is Reuben Frey. This is a little wobbly. Hi, Reuben. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Reuben Fry. Step up. There you go.
In the land I was born, I was an outlaw. I was a lone fox in the den. I had to dig out the home with my own paws, and I had no room for a friend. In the land I was born, I was an outlaw. I broke rules all over again. I ran like a lone dog, but I never came back there again.
Good job. And this is Adrian Lee. I think they're getting kind of tall now. Adrian, you think you can do it without a stool?
Yeah, I need to.
Or you think you need it? Okay. There you go.
I went to the beach and saw a big scary crab. He snapped me with claws and it hurted bad. I got mad and moved, but he followed me and snapped me again. He was being me, and that's how the crab ruined my vacation.
This is not Nathan. This is Antonio. Antonio Treviso. I bet I said it wrong, didn't I? You say it again, okay?
My poem is called iPad. Sometimes I quietly wait for my boy's endless banishment to end. He can't resist me. I'm a screen. I'm digital. Sometimes I wish he was the touchscreen. And I'm glad I'm not a real apple.
And this is Sebastian Bishop. Sebastian's got a picture of it. Here, I'll hold this while you read, okay? I've got a copy right here.
Okay. My dog, Zoe, is a pirate. She searches for treasure in our backyard, wearing her eye patch and bandana. She is a swashbuckling rogue.
The squirrels and birds scamper when they spot her. She is a true sea dog in a field of grass.
That's great. Okay, here comes our second row. Everybody on the second row, come on. There you go. Perfect. And this is Burnaby Esquivel.
Candies, witches, and costumes, skeletons, spiders, and animals, puppies, cupcakes, and gummies of animals and magic.
Can you read it in Spanish too?
Dulces, brujas y disfraces, esqueletos, arañas y animales, peditos, pastelitos y gomas de animales y gatitos de magia.
Beautiful. And this is Blackstone Loring.
Do you think I can reach?
You want me to pull it out?
Oh, yeah, school will be fine now.
Sure. Step right there.
Scissors. I wonder if scissors ever talk to the people, to the paper that they cut, then are gripped by invisible hands and say goodbye as they lose control and open their mouths. Snip, snip, snip.
Good job. And this is Kathleen Pauley.
America, here we are, right here, not going anywhere. America, we have freedom, we have our rights. We're staying right here, where we are. We're staying right where we are, in America.
Good job. And this is Sarah Robinson.
The end of the universe, the end of time, the finish of converse, and at the end of a chime. What am I?
And what are you?
The letter E.
Good job. And Christian Banda is not here, so this is Rashmi Rana Basu. What do you think? You want to stand up a little bit? Why not?
Will the darkness please tell me what happened to the moonlight? Will the silence gently murmur, where do sweet tunes hide tonight? Roving spirits, I pray you tell, why did the wind stop blowing? My reticent heart, please proclaim, why did the rapture stop flowing? Questions emanate from my heart, they flow like a rushing stream. The answer is evasive as always, like my most cherished and elusive dream.
Beautiful. Oh, sorry. She has 2 poems, and she's going to read them both.
Transcendence. When my thoughts are reckless, my emotions in a fleeting spree, deep inside my mind I delve, and effortlessly I see, like the waves playful children, dissolve into mother's sea. My brain rests, my mind vanishes, and my soul merges into infinity.
Good job. Ian Garza. Hi, Ian.
Hi. Fast food. Delicious and great is fast food. It puts you in such a good mood. With drive-thrus, get it on the run, eat too much and you'll weigh a ton. Some have clean foods, some just have gnats. Some give out toys, some give out cool hats. Loads go, I've even seen a nun. Eat too much, weigh a ton. Patty, lettuce, mustard, pickles. Burger with ketchup that trickles. Wait, I forgot the bun. Eat too much, you'll weigh a ton. McDonald's and Burger King, yum. Whataburger, In-N-Out, fun. Steak and Shake, Freddy's, get one. Eat too much and you'll weigh a ton.
This is not Adelaide. Wait a minute. This is... Wait just a second, where I've messed up just a little bit. Okay. We're on page 20. And this is Arav Gadala. Uh-oh.
Happiness is a leaf drifting through the air, never touching the ground. Happiness is a dandelion dancing in the breeze, its little wisps flying away. Sadness is a flower, blue and wilting, burning away, forgotten. Sadness is an empty thought, nothing filling it, slowly, slowly fading. Anger bubbles like a geyser hidden inside us, choosing the right time to erupt. Trapped inside us, trying to escape, going into the deepest parts of your body, taking control. Disgust doesn't care, she's self-obsessed, never helping, never kind, always laughing at people's mistakes. Fear is like a barrier, not letting you get across. Fear is like a monster grabbing at you, trying to pull you down.
Good job. This is Adelaide. Adelaide Crydell.
Christmas lights for the cool fall nights when owls take swooping flights. When late at night the crickets sound, while droplets of dew will form on the ground. The lemony scent of evergreen, the little pine branches so twiggy and lean. Bright glistening stars, and maybe even Mars, in the pine woods in Wimberley, Texas.
And this is Seth Borslein.
No one has respect for the tree that gives sour fruit. It is bitter and old.
Thank you. That's okay, come ahead. I feel a little confused. I think something's going wrong with my pages. This is Rowan Norris. Okay, I'm good. Here we go. Spanish spelling bee gloom.
I'm stuck in the muck with Spanish spelling bee gloom. I've got the jumbled letter blues, an academic bruise. First filled with excitement, and then the nerves kicked in, but still kept a grin. First round check, second round good. Then it hit me like a hurricane would. Got out on the word tosco, spelled it with a Z, such a disappointment, but then it hit me. I have the rest of my life for spelling mastery.
Good job. Daniel Abney. I think y'all are getting pretty tall now.
Mr. Skelly had no meat, he was bare to the bone. Count Dracula liked to speak in a Transylvanian tone. Frankenstein's monster shook the earth wherever he walked. The mummy's voice sounded raspy whenever he talked. The headless horseman could never think straight. The only way to get old Nessie out of the pool was to use fish as bait. The werewolf, as my peers call him, had a lot of hair. You always wanted to see Dr. Griffin, but he was never there. I'll let you in on a secret, but you mustn't tell, or else you just might go down a well, because the scariest things that you might not see is that all these monsters are teachers to me.
And I don't believe Silas Bartlett is here. And this is Brenna Calhoun. No, it's not Brenna Calhoun. It's Angela Cohen. Sure. Okay, you stand right by me, all right? This is Son of the Sea by Angela Cohen. 3 figures must go where liquid is supposed to flow. The place you go will be rather stinky and dank. It might feel like you're in a claustrophobic and dirty tank. You must remove what's in its way to be able to save the day. There is a purpose for this quest. It will put your skills to the test. There is a thing you must save, but beware, there will be a treacherous wave. This might sound awfully terrible, and that is true, but it's very important, and we are relying on you. Don't worry, there's a prize at the end. Everything will easily flow again. Everyone is worrying, so you really should be hurrying. Please finish this task fast, so everyone will be better at last. Again, I say we are counting on you because everything is starting to stink here too. And Evan, help me say your last name.
Hamaoka.
Evan Hamaoka.
Alien invasion. The massive shadow crosses the sun. Crowds panic, screams ring out. Their spaceship descends, their hatch slowly opening, but we know they do not come in peace. We have heard of them, read legends of them. It is said the only thing in their hearts is evil. It is said they murder without caring. It is said they have destroyed their planet and are taking over a new one, but we never thought they would come. It is said they're the most dangerous creatures in the universe. Some call them the world invaders. Some call them killers, but we call them a different name. Crowds are now running, waving tentacles. The humans!
And this is Julia Landis. You want to do it yourself? You want me to? Good for you.
He's curled in a ball to escape the cold air, his tail tucked around, the wind blows his hair. Rising and falling, he breezes the cheese, his ear twitches twice as he feels the sharp breeze. Inside he's all warm and he's dreaming of fun, of chasing and romping and bathing in sun. He lies on Mom's chair, and I know she's not pleased, but I know she does love him and won't let him freeze. He's curled up so tight, has laid there so long. He might be nocturnal, but I think I am wrong. He might just now wake with me standing here, so I bid him goodbye. Sweet dreams, my dear.
Thank you. This is Bella Noriega.
Haikus. Haikus, 575. Japanese, 3 unrhymed lines. 575, 3 lines.
Thank you. And Charlie Weiner. Or is it Charlie Weiner? Okay. You want me? Let's get you the stool so they can see you better.
The Volcano, The Volcano, Seijo poem. It is said to be impossible to conquer the fire mountain. It sits alone in the quiet sound by the churning lava stream, and if someone challenges its summit, the volcano shakes.
Very nice. Thank you. This is Hazel Spedding. Siva Joshi is not here, so we'll skip on to Hazel. We're on page 33. I think our microphone is it still working? Okay, hang on just a second. We want to be able to hear you. Come stand by me. Give me moral support. Mark, the light is red. Does that mean anything? Okay, all right. I think you're nice and tall. Let me move it out of your way.
A few words. Is it working?
I think it's kind of going in and out. Okay, try again.
A few words about hope. Because life is not always right. Sometimes you just want to look up to the cold, unforgiving sky and scream.
Keep going.
Because sometimes everything is not a picture-perfect blue. Sometimes it is an angry red or a fiery orange or a despairing black. Because we are...
Oh. It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Jen's going to go see if she can help us, but you keep going,
Okay.
all right?
Because we are not flawless spheres of unbroken glass. We are murky, cracked, imperfect. And that's okay.
Just keep going.
And that's okay. Scream at the stars, see only red. Feel like you are on the brink of shattering. You are not alone.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Before, the light was green, and now it's red, which makes me sort of think, alert, alert. But let's see. Hazel, I'm sorry that the mic went in and out during your reading, and it looks like it's going to keep doing that. Jennifer, is Mark coming to help us? We have a technician here who maybe can save the day. Just a little pause. Talk among yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark from the Guadalupe Theater.
was so much better. Hazel, do you want to come read it again? You decide. What do you want to do? She's good. Okay. All right, so I think this is Arya Walker? No. Shreya Chaudhuri? And I apologize if I said it wrong. You got it? Okay.
Okay. If winter's breath kisses thy perfect lips, or summer's ray scratches thy gorgeous skin, if winter pulls thy cloak and nips, or summer shines the rock hollow of sins, thou shalt whisper my love's words calm and fair, soft, whilst thy hand is not ingrained in mine. Thou shalt but speak from lover's creed beware, and once again my love shall become thine. I shall hold thy fine face inside my hand, and know that it shall always be for me. I will love thee once again, 10 times more grand, and forget those lost days of loving thee. Yet, as I sob to say it's time to part, remember my lost love in thy lost heart.
Very nice. Thank you. And you know, that was our first poem by a teenager. That was a 13-year-old, and it's really my turn to let Jennifer take over.
Oh, she took my book.
Sorry. No problem.
Michael Cressbach with Whataburger.
I'm gonna let you read this one.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I get to read this poem?
Yeah.
I am from Whataburger. From Whataburger and Whataburger. I am from the house right next to Whataburger, where I get a lot of Whataburgers. It smelled like Whataburger. I am from the cow that ended up being a Whataburger, the lettuce of a Whataburger, and the Whataburger itself. I am from the go to Whataburger and I want Whataburger from Jonathan, Benjamin, and Whataburger. I'm from the craving of Whataburger and ordering Whataburger from you'll like Whataburger and Whataburger is good from the Star of David, the Torah, and Whataburger. I am from the hospital right next to Whataburger, from Whataburgers and double meat Whataburgers. I'm from my brother breaking his arm and going to Whataburger afterward, and the dad who loves Whataburger. I am from the orange and white stripes, AKA Whataburger. Thank you, Michael. Is this Shannon? Shannon Langus with Never Too Young. Sure. Never too young. You call me stupid, a dreamer, a fool. I'm too young to think I should stay in school. You call me naive, say I'm young, that I'm weak. Wisdom comes when your bones start to creak. Well, I say you're wrong, that I'll break the mold. Why does it matter if you're young or you're old? Yeah, I'm a dreamer, and I may be a fool, but I can change the world while I'm still in school. Thank you. That's not, Ella? Ella? I'm sorry, Ethan. No. Sierra Hollis with Looking Through a Marble.
Flipped, focused, warped. Their complex minds forever trapped in solid water. Stopped in motion, forever moving, forever still. Blindly rushing to get nowhere. Eyes stuck shut, oblivious to the complex beauty outside of the world outside their glass cages.
Andres de la Garza
A barrage begins. Characters typed viciously. Our president tweets.
Caitlin Fleming. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. Leah Forrest. I should have remembered you. I apologize.
I find you slouched on the second to last stair, long legs sticking out, your body forming one giant comma, wondering why you're all odd edges, fragments sticking out, catching on everything that passes, trailing behind gathered dust and trash and bodies. Reach out with your long-reaching arms, push me away. I don't want to drag you along, but I know what you're saying. Bodies are heavy, with hearts and promises, and I'm only a body. And I sit down next to yours. We click together like awkward puzzle pieces, just barely making a whole.
Wiley Martinez.
Untitled poem with 14 lines. What should I say? No one would care, doesn't matter, I'm aware. My motivation would be lost and I could act like Robert Frost and wonder who owns what and why, to ask which path would cause, should I choose to walk along it here, unhappiness to disappear. If I did have motivation or some kind of inspiration, I'm sure I could write quite freely instead of a so uneasily. But I'm stuck with what I've written. 7 rhymes, sans disposition.
Leanna Hall. Sure, honey. Hourglass. And at night I cry, alone in my bed. You burst through the door, and when you left, my face was swollen, hair all over the place, like your hands on my body, wrists redder than blood, the blood left on the tips of your nails. I have stopped crying out of fear that you'll return. But I know no matter how silent I stay, how perfect I try to be, how kind and sweet I treat you, you will return, and I anticipate it until my insides cave in and my soul falls into a bottomless pit. There is the waiting game you like to play. I have yet to win. Jackie Pavlovsky.
Broken. One day she promised herself, as she, all too small, hid in the corner away from him, all too big.
Athena Sanchez.
Keep watching. The TV's light bounces off her face. Her fingers tightly clutch the remote. Images flicker and disappear without a trace, but she keeps watching. She keeps watching because outside of the silver screen are the shouts and screams, but beyond the flickering images lies the ever-cruel reality. So she keeps watching. As long as she doesn't look away, the world can never hurt her. From this TV, nothing can lead her astray, for as long as she watches, she is safe. Even if the sky falls and the earth crumbles, so long as she doesn't press pause, she will not hear the evil man's grumbles. She will not be hurt by the witch's claws, so long as she keeps watching.
Devin Garza.
A letter to my little brother. Life's gonna be tough, I have this knowledge. Locked up dad and absent-minded mother. I know that once I go off to college, that you would have lost more than one brother. I'm sorry I failed to end the drama, failed to teach you how to pick up a dame. Different from how dad hits on mama, for all of my failures I take the blame. No, this is not your fate, you get to choose. Just don't think you're stuck, you can always move. I get that you may have nothing to lose, but you do have everything to prove. Stay out of trouble and in school do well, I'm tired of sending letters to jail.
Olivia Kane.
Thoughts from a believer. I began questioning God on a Tuesday in 3rd grade as we cut thick, black-brown planarian in half with a scalpel that made my fingers twitch. It doesn't feel pain, but I wonder if it screamed. My mother shakes and closes her eyes, palms up with strings of tension running the length of her arms, a heavy breath dropped from her lips, streaming through engorged veins, tears lace her wet eyelashes like a net, and she looks up. We stand in church beside my father, and I reach out to touch her, to see if she is real. I stare at the list the College Board offers for religious belief. Maybe I'm a spiritualist, an aesthetic Catholic, a Santillana without the thick Spanish accent. But my trachea encloses, holes burned from brimstone, and I swallow, checking undecided instead. Heaven seems too sterile for a woman like my mother. Valhalla, with its dark evergreens and glowing cinders, more fit for such a fighter. The man tells me, through thick glasses clouding his corneas, that religion stimulates the same part of the brain that drugs and sex and music do. I don't argue, I don't agree. She cries with little girl tears, shouting to the I am that lives in our attic. Yellowed with age, her eyes search the cracks in the ceiling for answers as I place a pillow over my head and scream, blocking her out. God is too tired to create a burning bush for my mother. One hot night, I have a dream about the land of the Israelites. Cascading dunes of fossilized finger bones folded in prayer, trees relinquishing leaves of brittle parchment to a sleepy wind, heaving from countless tired lungs. The Holy Spirit, a large gray duck sitting atop a throne, pretending to be a dove. My little sister lays on a dirty blanket and wonders what life will be like when we die. I ask if she remembers the time before she was born, as if the question is the answer, and our eyes well in unison. To whatever God there is, you saved my mother from a hell that burned in between her ears. I'm not sure if I should thank you. I reach out to pull a single white thread from the infamous veil in front of my face, and it unravels completely. And from across the lake we stare, watching her heavy ashes sink to the bottom, and I dare you to say that there is something bigger than us.
Casey? Oh, Corbin Solt. And this is our last poet.
Just use this one. A Government Squirrel. Once upon a time, there was colonization, with large farms called plantations, and polluting factories of industrialization, and we all look back at its corrupt duration. Soon comes along major taxation, only to cause war, inflation, and frustration, for this country needs a good filtration before the formation of more predation. More years pass, and they land in temptation, but one for a cancellation of a declaration. Translation, it's a declaration of calculation, only to result in long-term deprivation. Now, the leaders have full domination, depleting the people's last hope of salvation, only to further result in greater war, depression, and starvation, thus manifesting the government's horrible mutation. Then, 50 years in political rotation, the people grab hold of exploitation to expose the fluctuation in the fabrication of America's federation, just like an old Union nation using a snake plan for economic asphyxiation. And finally, we the people receive an invitation to an infestation of legislation and miscreation, Until this day, we hold creation and innovation, but this course may lead to fallout and radiation. On that day, there will be a realization of recreation, with termination of validation, no vaccination, no toleration for the upcoming abomination, and the leaders will receive their authentication of their own extermination. Even after this, don't believe me and deliver the leader's standing ovation. Or, believe me and take my words into consideration, because I believe poetry does not have to be only thoughts and imagination, but a device to give the blinded their insightful information.
Sure. Friends, thank you. And one more round of applause for these fantastic poets.
Let's have all the poets stand and turn around and look at your family so they can see your pretty faces. Stand up, turn around, give them a wave.
And friends, we'd like to thank Nowcast SA for live streaming this event. And if you'd like to relive it again, there was a card on your seat that has the URL that will take you to the recording.
I think this person's about ready for some punch.
Absolutely.
Before we stand up and have some refreshments, I always say every year, and I believe this is so true, children who are in sports or even in music or theater arts or even the visual arts have many, many opportunities to stand in front of us and be acknowledged and celebrated. And children who are in the literary arts have fewer opportunities. And the San Antonio Public Library is so proud of you for the work that you do. And we hope you'll all keep writing, because really a library needs books and books need writers. So let us thank you one more time and thank your parents as well. And we do have some punch and cookies and fruit in the back, and we hope you'll all enjoy a little bit. And please, there's plenty of opportunities to take pictures. And thank you so, so much for being with us today.